Isn't that how friendships get made? We see each other on sort of a daily activity, and for us, it's the mountain biking team. And I was your coach, but now I would say we're friends.
Totally. I also know Nate is pretty competitive, so I think once he saw me riding at 6 a.m., he's like, I need to do that.
I was exhausted, even riding with these 50, 60-year-old guys. It's like, damn, these guys are fast. They do this every morning, twice a week. Turns out I almost crashed into one of the guys at the end of the ride. And Naruto tells me that, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get invited back.
You talked a couple other things, you went through some sort of like a feeling of isolation.
Having friends who I've grown up with and I've known for so long makes coming home so much better. I don't have to worry about like, oh, what are we going to do? What am I going to talk about?
The guys here, you stopped going to school.
Every other couple of weeks, I was thinking about what I was doing in high school, which was running like golden hour books. The motto of the school was learn by doing, and I just needed a little bit more doing.
How's that feel to be a part of a community?
There's always someone you can talk to. There's always someone that knows you or your family, and then you feel like sort of connected and protected in different ways. Just leaving the house and everyone knows your dad taught math or whatever, you know, like, oh, you're whoever's son, or you're connected in different ways. You're not like, you're never lost.
We fall down, but we get up.
Welcome back to Hometown Friends, the podcast that focuses on our most foundational friendships from the places we call home. Today, I interviewed three 20-year-old friends from Berkeley, California. Neruda, Amalia, and Nate have a friendship that is emblematic of how hometown friendships begin and develop over time. On this episode, we see how relationships are built on familiarity and shared interest, and specifically how the sport of cycling allows for meaningful friendships to be forged and how it leads to long-lasting connections. We discuss how challenging it is to make friends in the first year of college particularly, and how the feelings of loneliness is often a new experience for young people during this time. We talk about what it takes to make new friends and the different paths to pursuing one's goals in life. We discuss intergenerational friendships and how we feel about having them in our lives. I personally feel privileged to have the opportunity to experience relationships with folks at different developmental stages and with different life experiences. The opportunity to discuss friendship with these young people was inspiring, and the wisdom that they bring is important for anyone at any age to hear. I hope you feel the same, and if you do, follow and subscribe. Well, you guys, the Morning Ride crew, welcome to the Hometown Friends podcast. Great to have you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Super excited.
Tell everybody who you are. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Neruda Diaz. I was born and raised in Berkeley, California.
And where are you now, Neruda?
I live in Boulder full time, and then as of right now today, I'm seeing some family in Berkeley, but spend my biking days, my other days in Boulder.
Why'd you go there?
I love the people, the culture, the community there, and most importantly, the cycling side of it. I race bikes.
Nice.
That's what I do.
Who's next?
My name is Amalia Kirmayanajad. I grew up pretty much all of my life in Berkeley. I go to school in Denver. I am a psych major. And I'm also in Berkeley right now, visiting family for the summer.
Welcome home.
I always come back when I can for every break because I enjoy coming back. It makes me feel good.
Nice. And you and Neruda are a couple, aren't you?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
For some time. How long?
That's a good question.
3 years?
3, 4, somewhere around there.
And of course, it starts as a friendship, doesn't it?
Always.
And continues as a friendship.
Always.
Next, Nate.
Nate Paremba, born and raised in Berkeley. I'm living in Berkeley full time right now, running a business called Golden Hour Books, helping the community, I like to think.
How so?
I donate as many books as possible, help people downsize and get their books to new homes and second lives. So trying to stay active in that and all that I do.
One of the things that I think is really fascinating as a psychologist is how important it is to articulate those goals and to say them out loud, and not be afraid to say them out loud, because There really is. I think often we don't because we're afraid that we won't actually achieve them. So I'm curious, and I'll take a little experiment here. What are your goals?
And this is one of the things that's hard for me. I feel like I'm much more focused on the day to day, month to
Okay.
month thing, but like having family, kids, having a successful business, not just for the money aspect of it. It's more like I want to make a positive impact in the world as a whole. And like, I think by creating a business and making some whatever amount of money makes sense to be able, because money talks and you can create different things when you have resources, but also like, um, I don't know. I want to be able to travel and like see friends. Like I think always since I was a little kid, like it was never about like making a ton of money. It was about like I want to be able to travel whenever I want to, go and stay with people that I like in my life, and just have as much fun as I can and see the world. So like I don't have like clear defined 5-year plan, 10-year plan, whatever, but like just making the positive choices to where I can get to that point is where I'm at right now.
You're growing your business, you're scaling your business, and I want to shout out that you're not only just doing it for yourself, but you do have a community mindset to help children have more reading material and donate 50,000 books to African communities. And moreover, I want to shout you out because you've joined my board of directors for the Tribe One social health organization, nonprofit organization that I started. And there's a reason why I invited you because I thought you were super thoughtful about this particular kind of thing. I think you're really appreciative of a friendship and the idea that social isolation and loneliness is a real problem in our society, and that addressing it with friendship initiatives and belonging initiatives was attractive to you.
And like with what I'm doing in the business too, it's like, yeah, I want to increase literacy because I can't solve all the problems myself, but like the more people that are literate and know how to read, or more people are going to be creating cures for cancer and all different kinds of things. Like one individual is not going to be able to change like the world in a meaningful way, but like the more people that are educated, I feel like it, and if I could be a small part of that, then I feel like I can have purpose and why I wake up every day. And I've always wanted that.
It's great. What about you guys? Are you articulating any?
I don't have like one specific goal or like something that I'm striving towards, but I do think I hope in like the next few years hopefully find some career path that I feel really confident in, both that will support me financially and personally. Like I think one of the biggest things, regardless of what I was wanting to like major in college when I was still in high school, I wanted to do something that I personally feel fulfilled doing. And that's like really important to me. Like in school, I'm in school because it fulfills me. Like I feel really fulfilled, like learning and doing. And I think finding a career that both is helpful to me and to other people is like one of the most important things for me right now, is figuring that out, because I think I will enjoy every other aspect of my life so much more if I feel stable in a job and also helping people and fulfilling my personal needs of like being engaged.
It's nice to have a career that's meaningful, that that is actually making other people's lives better. I think there is something, especially as you're studying psychology, and I can speak from my own experience of being a psychologist and being a therapist and being someone who does wake up every day to try to make people's lives better and have them be healthier, and reduce conflict and have more less loneliness, less isolation, and more connection. It and make money at it, and have a family around it and support yourself. Certainly, it is a great combination. So I'll look forward to seeing you in those meaningful careers. What about you, Nurita?
I want to achieve. I want to be a professional cyclist. I want to race and ride my bike and travel and hopefully have a successful career. I think that can mean a lot of different things, because cycling, I think, is a sport that you can control your success. Like if you train more and you work hard, I think you'll see a lot of success. Same with, I think, Nate's business. And my side of it has nothing to do with the money, because if I make millions of dollars or $0 currently or in 5 years, that doesn't really change much in the sense of I want to win races and I want to ride my bike. And I think I wake up every day to achieve that. Money's never really driven me. I think money's like the cherry on top, and that'll come with your success. But my goals are pretty clear and simple, and just keep riding your bike and hopefully win some races.
I think it's really admirable and remarkable that the three of you are bucking a bit of the trend, which is that if you ask young people these days what they want to do, they will often say they want to make a lot of money. And the three of you, in different ways, have actually taken that and in an opposite way, or at least not focused on making a lot of money. You've made that pretty clear that that's not necessarily your only desire.
I think I definitely know a lot of people who want to make money because they believe money is the key to everything, which I don't disagree with that. That's not how I go through life. I don't prioritize wealth. I prioritize health. I think my health and the way I ride my bike and the way I live my life in Boulder is mostly to help make my goals come true. So it's different. I think a lot of people I grew up with, like one of my closest friends, just signed with the Oakland Roots, the soccer team, and I know he's making good money. But he said one of the first things he said was like, I don't care about that, because I knew inevitably that was going to come with my success. I play soccer to make kids happy, and there's a photo of him signing a kid's jersey. Like stuff like that is worth more than anything. And I think those are the things when you take a step back and you think, wow, I've played soccer for the past 10 years and I'm making a little kid's dream come true. Like that is really special. And I think that's worth more than anything.
I know there are people who are like, I would rather sit at a desk and be filthy rich than like doing a job that is slightly more fulfilling. You're not making millions of dollars. And I think I've never been like, oh, I'm going to go be an accountant because I'm going to be so rich and I can do whatever I want with that money. I think it's obviously I need to be able to live and like afford things that I need, but I also don't want to then have to sacrifice my career to do something that I don't actually want to do just for the benefits of that. Like I think a lot of people now are going into fields because of money rather than because they're actually passionate about what they're doing. And I don't think it's necessarily a problem, but I'm seeing that as a trend in our generation of like, oh, I'm going to go code. I'm going to go, whatever. And I'm like, are you going to be happy? And I think happiness and being, as I've said so many times before, being fulfilled in what you're doing is so much more important than making a bunch of money.
It is a wise thought process, I think.
I feel the same way too, right? It's like, I think it's the way I was raised. My dad's a teacher and my mom's a social worker. Like, and I have tons of other educators in my family. It's like, they chose careers specifically because they wanted to make a positive impact, and they are making positive impacts in thousands of kids' lives. And like I've seen that through like different, like not every single teacher is that way, but like lots of teachers that we've had growing up have been like very positive influences in our lives, and my life in particular. So it's like just seeing that, and it's like realizing it's okay to not just pursue the financial wealth. Like there's health and relationships are truly what's most important.
There we go. There's that's why I wanted you on the nonprofit board of a social health organization. But yeah, and you're right. You're speaking the truth, actually, from the research that wealth is the most important wealth is how connected we are and how connected we feel and how fulfilled we feel and service to others. And I mean, these are thousands year old. None of us made this stuff up. This is just, these are just reminders of what's the most important thing. And you guys, it's wonderful to see you're already aware of these things. And Nate, I'm just going to say, I can predict you're going to be a very, very wealthy person. I'm serious. I don't think there's any doubt that you're going to be a very wealthy person in a lot of those things, by the way. And I think because you are a businessman, it's one of the things that was very attractive about you to me, to my organization, was that you are developing business, and you have a business, and your business makes money. Like you already are saving a lot of money. You've always been a good salesman. I've seen you, I've talked to you. I can see you are developing these ways of being that are going to prove to be extremely profitable, both in the wealth and money area, but also in these other areas that you thought about. So, and I can only imagine that you guys surrounding yourselves with each other are going to rub off on each other. How did you guys meet? Crew a little bit.
We all have different stories of that, which is really
Perfect.
Really interesting to hear. Like I met Amalia over online, like Zoom class during COVID, and then I met Nate in elementary school, and then they met their different times.
Like so we knew each other like in 6th grade with jazz band when I thought she was Theseus' sister, and then
who's my good like one
good
of my
yeah,
best
it's crazy.
friends.
Like, but and then we reconnected over Neruda and Amalia, and then like I knew Neruda in kindergarten. We didn't really get close or whatever till like 4th and 5th grade when we had class together, and then lost touch, and then came back through math class, and then Neruda got me into cycling, and I had to compete with this guy. It can't be that hard, right? So it just became like a thing where I got into riding and then competing with him, and then it became like a social activity, and then we connected outside of riding bikes like a couple years ago now, and then the rest is history.
Yeah. That's a big part of it. I forgot somehow the mountain biking team, the three of us, our senior year, we're all together on the team.
Isn't that how friendships get made? Actually, especially when we're young, we see each other, we have familiarity with each other, we see each other with sort of a daily activity, either it's at school or in class, or for you guys and for us, it's the mountain biking team that we all shared time together. So we got familiar with each other. There's this great word that I often use. It's a psychology word, Amalia. So you'll learn it in like 101 or whatever, called propinquity. And it's like proximity, essentially. But it's this great word that I think it's the reason why often we make friends with other people. They're in our universes, right? We see them either daily or close to that, and we get really familiar. And it's much easier to be friends with people we're familiar with, whether it's their faces or, and then we get to know them, and then we start interests together, right? Like cycling. And of course, we were all on the Berkeley High mountain biking team together. Yeah, let's talk about cycling and friendship and why that's bringing you guys together, and then how you ended up on this morning ride with these old men.
Freshman year, one of my like first friends at Berkeley High, her name was Amelie, and at the time I didn't ride at all. I knew like what cycling was, and I knew her dad rode, and I didn't really talk with him that much. But her brother Luke played soccer, I played soccer, Amelie played soccer, so the three of us kind of connected on that. And then around COVID, when I like started riding, she was telling me that, oh yeah, my dad does this morning ride. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not waking up. Yeah. And then junior year, when I joined the mountain biking team, right around the time I started, I was like, yeah, I should start doing this morning ride before class, trying to get some more fitness. First ride, show up, I was like, what am I doing? It's cold, it's dark, I'm tired. We get to the top, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do this again. And I think from that point on, every time I've been home, I come every Wednesday, Friday. And then I remember Nate seeing the morning ride and trying to convince him. And he was like, I know it's early, but you'll love it.
Why do you think he'd love it?
Part of cycling that people really enjoy is you're outside with people you want to spend time with. And I think Nate is someone who, anytime we can ride together and talk and have a good time and chat with new people, that's something we both enjoy. I also know Nate is pretty competitive, so I think once he saw me riding at 6 a.m., he's like, I need to do that.
I always saw him riding with these guys, and I'm like, I want to push myself and get out there. So I'm like, wonder when Neruda's going to invite me on this ride. And then he finally does, and then like I remember being I was exhausted, even riding with these 50, 60-year-old guys. It's like, damn, these guys are fast. They do this every morning, twice a week. And then I get up there. Turns out I almost crashed into one of the guys at the end of the ride. And Naruto tells me that, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get invited back.
The worst part of this is that I didn't show up.
You didn't show up.
I felt so bad. I texted him the night before. I get up at this time. I'll meet you here. And I wake up at like 7 or 8, when you guys are finished, and he's texting. Like, I see the text, and I felt so bad.
So the idea is that we've been doing a 6 a.m. ride. We meet at 5:50 in the morning at Pete's Domingo, and we ride up the hill and we watch the sunrise over Mount Diablo at the top of Ulmer Peak. It's about an hour, a little over an hour ride. Sometimes it gets pretty quick depending on how much fitness you are. And it's 6 a.m. in the morning. We leave sharply at 6 a.m. You have to have your lights. You have to be prepared.
And then this one over here, it was tough convincing her to come to the morning ride.
I'm always impressed that you guys, any of you, show up below the age of 20 or 21.
Once we started getting into riding, like, I had nothing. I had like no kit, no lights, no whatever. Naruto's like, here, have this. Here, have a helmet. Here, have pedals. Here, have shoes. Here, have this. And just like, then like that made me realize, oh, cycling's cheap. little do we know, thousands of dollars later,
his 2 bikes are in the bike shop currently.
Yeah, so there's that. But like, Naruto was always like a positive force of like getting people out here, bringing people together.
And I think I learned that from you, from Shiraz, from Chandler, from Rob, from Dom, from Ivor, all the people who show up to this morning ride. You get that vibe. You get that from you guys. And I think I was like that before, and that's how I was raised. But I think the more I rode with you guys and understood, like, we're out here, this is like a community. We all went to Berkeley High. We all know each other. We're all out here for the same reason. We love to ride bikes. We love each other. We want to watch the sunrise. And that was something I wanted Nate to like experience.
Yeah, you're leading in that. I think in that space, Naruto. I think you often lead other people. I mean, these 2 are not the only ones you've brought to the morning ride. You spread the news pretty far and wide.
It's tough.
And I think they come because they get it, but they also want to be there with you.
Act of getting there that I really struggle with. But then I'm there, then I'm like, of course I want to be here. Like, why would I not? But in the moment, getting there, a little different.
There's fun moments about that ride too, right? Yeah. It's like, like getting up, and once we see a Naruto, like just peeping around the corner, and then it's like getting there, seeing you guys sitting on the benches, getting the little cracking jokes is already starting, and then the little race segment against Naruto and Rob. And everyone's trying to, like, no one wants to see Naruto win. So one of the first things that you guys said to me on the ride was, thank God another young person is here to like beat Naruto. And then now we got the green jersey. So,
well, we always say it's great to have the younger generation with us. We were getting bored of each other, although we were having a good time. But having how old are you? 20s?
We're all 20.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, having the younger generation makes a huge difference for the group. And I was your coach, but now I would say we're friends.
Totally.
How does cycling enhance friendships?
And my like 5 closest friends I've all known since I was pretty young because of soccer. I played soccer for 10 years before I started cycling, and all of them I met through playing soccer. And then Nate I met in the classroom, but now we're really good friends, I think, because we ride all the time. But I think cycling brings people together. It's a sport that I think you can bring a lot of different people together in the sense of like where you came from, your level of cycling, all these things that in other sports I think separate. Like when I was playing soccer with those friends, I wouldn't have said, hey, Amalia, come play with us. It's different. I think in cycling, having this morning ride where you're bringing different people together who probably in any other setting would not be like hanging out together. And that's what's really cool about cycling and this sport is that you can just bring a lot of people together. And I think, Chandler, you can speak to this about the mountain biking team, how you have 150 kids from all over Berkeley who have totally different ideas of what mountain biking is, and yet we're all here for the same reason. We love to ride our bike and we love to hang out with each other, and putting that together makes a great community.
Yeah, I mean, like me and Naruto like connected obviously in class and then riding bikes, but then like I think we went off to college and then came back, and like I don't know how his feeling on this was, but I was like I want to connect outside of bikes too, see how that looks like. So then like I remember like going to IKEA and going shopping, getting some frozen yogurt at the end.
Oh, that's right.
So then it's like I feel like then we've had these like small habits of like going to Yogurt Park and having fun up there through biking, and all that is like the starting point. And then like it takes a long time to be able to like connect outside of the bike too. I don't know like what kind of like friendships that is, but
And I'm very curious about this because you guys, you know, the guys here, you know, you stopped going to school for different reasons, but similar reasons, right? You wanted to pursue something more than college.
yeah, I mean, for me, it was a variety of reasons. Like I, and a part of this is like maybe impatience of like going through the gen ed classes, and it's like, yeah, what am I doing in high school again? I mean, it was freeing in a way because I did much better in college grade wise than I did in high school, because I was more isolated, and like why not just like focus on academics and biking and whatever, because I had the opportunity to do so. So like that was cool to see myself grow in that way.
Nice.
But at the same time, like I went to that school and I wanted to like do business and do something positive in business and make an impact that way. So like I like didn't see how that school and that community was going to be the environment for me to do that. So like every other couple of weeks I was thinking about what I was doing in high school, which was running like golden hour books, and like what like for me, I just needed something. Like the motto of the school was learn by doing, and I just needed a little bit more doing. And then having a conversation with Naruto, like that was really important. So like having that conversation with Naruto, like, hey, like what made you decide to drop out this year? Like, because I think he had made his decision a little bit earlier than I had. And then like talking in July, like we were just driving, and I remember this conversation. It's like him saying that to me. I'm like, oh, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can like really make that leap and like trust myself to work on my own thing for a year, since Naruto's been able to do it and work on it, like, and decide. And like, I mean, he did phase 2 and met tons of people and connections, is like seeing how he interacts with these sponsors and programs. Like he's making it happen. Like I can do that too.
I love that because I do think that's what friends do for us. They model certain things that we might not be willing to do ourselves, and they give us permission, I think, to do some of those things. And so I love that story because I think it exemplifies how your friendship helped you make a change, a good change, a change that you was right for you by seeing someone else do it first and someone you trust.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot from Nate on the business side and the pursuing something like side of it. And I think when he's at my races and we're talking to sponsors or companies, the way he talks to them is some like I actually learn a lot just from him talking. Like he's not in the bike industry. He doesn't know these people, and yet he talks to them like he does. And I actually learn a lot from that. But also seeing the way Nate's run his business and how it's like, I mean, it's changed a lot since he first started. And now he has a lot of, I mean, he has like 3 storage units and has donated, he's being modest, he's donated like 50,000 books to people and to kids in South Africa. I went with him recently to get an award for like just being a great guy and all these things that you, again, like you said, Chan, I think you just learn from each other and you see each other's successes and want to help each other get there, and also you see each other, and yet that helps you grow. And I think that's something that me and him, like every time we're back, we're always like doing this.
That's great. Yeah. And I also love the admiration part of that, is that you have admiration for each other and you see qualities that you like about and that you trumpet, that you actually like, that's my friend.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy to be connected to this person who's doing stuff.
Yeah.
pushing themselves or scaling their business or is nice or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just someone that you want to be around. I'm curious about, maybe we can move on to like the topic of friendship in general. Like what makes friendships happen? Why do people have friendships? Why are they so important to us? Because they are. And I think you guys are living it. And I'm also curious about sort of your age, right? Malia, you're in college, and these guys were in college and dropped out, I guess, or left specifically to pursue other pursuits. But I'm curious about what is it that brings you friendships, and why are we all motivated for friendships in general?
Well, I think I really enjoy being social and like being surrounded by people who I can be myself and just like enjoy doing whatever we're doing or enjoy not doing anything together and just like being in the presence of each other and having friends who I've grown up with and I've known for so long makes coming home so much better because I don't have to worry about like, oh, what are we going to do? What am I going to talk about? Like, I'm so, like I don't even think about that. Like, I see the people who I know and I will always, without a doubt, have like an amazing time. And I think that's just due to the time that we've spent together for so long because we all went to the same school together. We've known each other for 10 plus years. Like I've known people since kindergarten who I'm still friends with to this day. And I think that's just something really special that not everybody gets to experience.
It was harder for me going to college and finding, like, I didn't know a single person who went there. Like, I didn't have any friends who went to CU Boulder for a year. And it was hard because I'm social, but also like most of the people who went there who I would see hang out already knew people and knew, oh yeah, my best friend was going here. So they already had their friend groups right away. And I remember being in my dorm room and it took me, I think like a few months to like actually find like friends. And I'm still friends with a couple of them to this day, but I remember going to the dining hall, eating alone. Like that was just, that I wasn't used to that. I feel like Amali said, every time you come home, you just text your friends, we go hang out, and that's like normal. So it was definitely a little interesting to see in college how friendships were made because I felt like some of it was forced. Like in your classroom on the first few weeks, you'd have to turn next to each other and say, or what year you are, what do you like to do, what's your major, this and this, and then you leave and you don't ever think about them again. And when I look back on my friendships here in Berkeley, it's like totally different. The way that they were created was super organic and natural. Like you went to school together, you'd see them every day, you'd play a sport with them. Your parents probably knew each other. And then you reconnected in middle school or you reconnected in high school. And then your mountain biking coach, Chandler, you see on the morning ride. Like all these things just happen in an organic way that I didn't really feel in college.
That must have been tough. I mean, it's always tough for the first semester and or first year for college folks, right?
Yeah, no, I felt a lot of that similar down in Pomona. Like I didn't feel like I connected to anyone on like a super deep level throughout the entire year I was there. And that was hard. Just like feeling socially isolated. And then, I mean, like seeing that you have that back at home and like you realize you're never going to have those same like high school. You're never going to be back in the same room in classes with these people. It's like it's a huge transition, and it was difficult for me.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for a lot of people, and some people on the opposite are yearning for it because they're either come from a small town and they want to get out, right, or they want to expand their horizons and meet new people. How has it been meeting new people, Amalia, in college?
I love meeting new people. Like I really enjoy, if I become friends with them, I don't know, but like I really like talking to people in my classes and just like connecting with people. And I kind of going back to what they were saying, like it did take me a while to find a really solid group of people that I now call like some of my really close friends in school. And I think something that I got to experience that they didn't was continuing. Like I'm going into my third year now and I've seen like how those have grown. Like, yes, my roommate, like we were roommates, so obviously we had to hang out, but now I call her my closest friend because we've continued to live together and like we really enjoy spending
You,
time with each other.
you continue to choose the friendship.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We chose to continue that, which is really special. Like I really feel really lucky to have that. But it definitely took time. Like it wasn't, I also made friends with people and I later found out I actually don't really want to be friends with you. And I think in the beginning, it's like you are searching so hard for people to be friends with because you don't want to not have friends and not be around people. But at the same time, are these the people you actually enjoy spending time with? And I think time just kind of figured that out. And like I found really great people.
That's great. I mean, and well articulated too. It really, you do sort of go through a process of choosing people and them choosing you, and it has to be reciprocal, right? Good friendships are reciprocal in that regard. There's some research that says we are the average of the 5 closest friends that we have, right? We actually act like our friends. So if you surround yourself with certain people, you're likely to act like them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you surround yourself with other kinds of people, you're likely to act like them. Like there's a lot of research around this. We actually do what our friends do. So if they drink, we're going to drink. If they take drugs, we're going to take drugs. If they achieve in academics, we're likely going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If they're nice and kind and compassionate, we're probably going to be more like that.
I think that's one reason why I left college and didn't love it that much, is the people there I actually couldn't relate to in any way. Like the way that they interacted with other people, they weren't as respectful, they weren't as nice, they weren't as kind. Like that was something I don't relate to, and I can't be around those kinds of people. And I think something me and Nate something me and him both, like we're the same way. We want to pursue our own thing at the highest level and want to achieve the very best, but we can also have a good time. Like we're not super serious. And I think another thing, so many people in school, sometimes with their friends, just take things a little too seriously. And I think the 3 of us can have a good time and like shoot the shit, make jokes about each other, and also just have a good time.
And you talked a couple other things, you guys. You went through some sort of like a feeling of isolation and feeling of like socially not being connected. A lot of people are challenged with that throughout their lifetime. We see it well through all through the ages. Actually, it doesn't discriminate, right? That we feel like we don't have friends, or we feel isolated, or we feel lonely.
The first semester of college, it's inherently a hard thing to do, no matter, even if you are really excited to go, like you'll get there and you're like, wow, I'm far away from home. Like, and being in Denver, like I can't go home on the weekend to see my parents. Like I have to wait until Thanksgiving break or winter break or whatever. And it definitely was a hard time because I had a roommate who I'm now super close with, but it took us a little while to like really become super close. And just, I think being so far and knowing I'm so far and not really being surrounded by the people that I've been surrounded by for so long and so much of my life it was a really interesting feeling because I hadn't felt that to that extent up until then. And it was a really new feeling. And it was kind of weird because I was like, what am I feeling? This is weird. Like, I don't want to feel like this, but I do. And how can I fix that? And it later found out it was just making really good friends and finding new people that I feel comfortable with and make me feel good was the solution to that.
It's pretty simple, but it's not easy task all the time and you're bringing up something I think is really interesting for the college age person. Sometimes we have never felt this social isolation before because it's all been organic, as you said. I guess I'm pointing to the idea that lots of kids actually they're not always feeling connected and having friends. They often do feel, especially if they have learning disabilities or other sort of issues that sort of make them stand out, or disabilities, or all kinds of stuff that or just awkwardness, or not having, I don't know, they're homeschooled, or there's all kinds of reasons why people don't have this organic all the time friendships that they take for granted. Does that make sense?
I agree with that. I think something I hear when I come back to Berkeley, and then when I go back to Boulder, is people say like "Welcome home," and I always find it interesting on how to respond to each of those people because I feel like the term and the word home, like I actually feel like my place in Boulder feels more like a home. That being said, every time I come back to Berkeley, it feels, putting the house aside, more like a home because of the people. When I was in high school, I didn't really think about that. And then when you leave and you're isolated and you don't have as many friends, even though this is now your new home in college, it's not.
Yeah. Home is where you belong,
Yeah. Yeah.
where you feel a belonging.
There's always someone you can talk to. There's always someone that knows you or your family, and then you feel like sort of connected and protected in different ways. Just leaving the house and everyone knows your dad taught math or whatever, like, oh, you're whoever's son, or you're connected in different ways. You're not like, you're never lost. Having one high school where everyone comes back to Berkeley High, like we all start at like 13 or whatever, how many different elementary schools across, and then trim down to middle schools, and then everyone gets to know your friends from here, your friends from there, and then we all reconnect at Berkeley High. I think is a big thing too.
I agree. I think that is a special thing about our town, is that we do have just one high school, and that and you have lots of friendships from early on, childhood friendships, but then when you get to the Berkeley High, you either reconnect or you have new friendships. So it's kind of both, the best of both worlds in that regard. You have
It's crazy. I was gonna say, it's when you think about like friends we know who are on the mountain biking team, like Aja's mom, who went to Berkeley High with
My mom.
Yeah, like it's crazy how we know our friends as parents all somehow went to school together. Like there's so many connecting the dots that I don't feel anywhere else. Like of course we've grown up here and we like kind of makes sense, but it's crazy when you think back on that, how many people know each other, like baseball coaching and then mountain bike coaching, and then now we ride together in the morning, and then you knew him since middle school and I've known him since elementary. Like it's so crazy when you think about it, and you see
it really is.
He's like the coach of the entire Berkeley Bay Area community. This guy, this is a positive ray of sunshine.
That makes a difference. I think it feels a different way, don't you think?
Totally.
It feels like a community.
Yeah, a really big community. Banana's
Yeah.
small at the same time.
Yeah.
Big as in the sense of like Berkeley is huge.
In the Bay Area, great. Like there's millions of people here, but like me and my dad, like walk out of the house, you're always going to see someone you know.
Yeah.
Like always, without fail.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's unique to Berkeley.
For sure.
I want to say thank you guys for coming on this show. We've been talking about this for a long time. I can't wait to see the next steps that you guys take personally, professionally, in connection. And I hope that we always stay friends, and that we can always ride our bikes together at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And shout out to you, Chandler.
Yeah.
Thanks for making this happen. And, I mean, you're always the positive ray of sunshine in the back of the group.
Nice, falling off the back with a smile on my face.
Always.
It was good. It was really fun to share these like stories and memories and great times with each other. I think that's what it's all about. It's just creating good moments with each other.
Well, I love that you guys admire each other, and I love that you share your admiration with each other and with other people, and that I'm super glad that you guys came on today. So thanks for coming in. Take care.
Ride.
Beautiful. Thanks for listening to this episode. This conversation had so many great insights about friendship at different stages of life. I really appreciated the way that this friendship was formed and maintained over time. I love that they spend time cycling together, which has allowed them to really grow their relationships and become stronger over time by sharing themselves with each other. I also really thought that the discussion about the challenges of making friendships in college was important, because this is such a difficult time for young people, and friendships take effort and vulnerability to solidify and maintain. But what really stuck out for me about this episode is the experience of having intergenerational friendships. As we discussed, having a shared group activity like cycling with both peers and people of different ages is a unique experience and so appreciated by all of us. Cassie Killam, in her book, The Art and Science of Social Connection, underscores the important role of these types of friendships in fostering social health and well-being throughout our society. The 6 a.m. ride created a relational bridge across generations that enhanced our feelings of community and connection. Research on intergenerational friendships finds that they have intriguing health benefits, including emotional validation and companionship across life stages, learning new skills and attitudes, reducing ageism and breaking stereotypes, and increasing self-esteem for all ages. Intergenerational friendships require us to let go of biases and approach the other with curiosity. The idea that meaningful friendships can be formed with anybody at any age, not just our peers, is an important social health awareness. My friends and I feel younger and more satisfied with our aging process, and these guys appreciated the wisdom and life experience that we bring. Friendship is about sharing our gifts and learning from one another, no matter what age we are. And having mutual, multi-generational friendships might ultimately be a small part of the equation to solve this crisis. Social connections throughout our community can be increased by being more intentional about connecting with different people at different ages. I encourage everyone to look for opportunities to foster these intergenerational connections by finding volunteer positions, coaching youth sports specifically, joining groups or public activities like doing yoga or playing chess in the park, and attending meetups. We can all contribute to a healthier society by sharing ourselves with others and allowing others to share themselves with us. If you agree, please comment and share this with your friends. Follow Hometown Friends on social media and leave us a 5-star rating. Stay tuned and stay connected, everyone.
We fall down, but we get up.